Welcome viewers on Galaxy TV, Motivation Time with Ahebwe Samuel. Well, I'm an author, motivational speaker, and business consultant or project consultant. Well, welcome today. It's a great day yet again. And our topic of discussion is on decision making for turnaround in your need for success or productivity. Well, in today's world, decision making is very important for your productivity or for your success. Decision making is defined as the choice that you take towards the process of taking action for expected results. Every one of us has expectations. Either we are given expectations at the workplace, in our daily lives. We all have goals and targets to achieve all year around, or daily, or every minute, or every hour. Now, decision making includes choice, knowledge, and action. So decision making is actually a skill. In one of your skills, you need to become a person who is proactive or active, is decision making. Now, decision making is not easy because it has all that whole process. Number one, of discovering what you're expected to do. And then the process of developing an action plan towards that activity. So in most cases, most of us have expectations, we have dreams, we have plans for the year, and now, for example, now the year is ending. So everyone had an expectation of himself, and we also have expectations of government. You have an expectation from your wife, or you have an expectation from your children. Also, they have expectations of you. And so it will take a decision-making skill to make sure that you achieve all those expectations. Number one, to master with decision-making is a control over your life. Most people actually don't have control over their life because they don't have the decision-making skills. Life happens to them other than them making life happen for their sake. When you let life happen to you, it is when you are actually given in to be reactive or passive in life. To be passive in life is to let things happen to you without your permission. Now, the importance or the purpose of decision-making skill is to control your life, to have control over life, to have control over things that happen to you, and to determine how they happen to you. Now, you know, everyone has had that saying that a poor man has no choice. Why does the poor man have no choice at all in life? And that is what makes the poor poor. When the poor man does not have a choice, it means they are powerless to determine what happens to them or what they happen to. When you don't have the control over your life, it means you don't determine the quality of your happiness. You cannot control the quality of your relationships. You cannot control the attainment of your goals. You also cannot control your destiny or your fate. Now, that is where the problem is. The reason why actually most people are poor is because they have lost the power of control over their life. You don't have self-control. You don't have control of others. You cannot control your society. When it rains, it makes you do certain things according to the weather. When it shines, it also makes you do what actually the sunshine determines you to do. And that means that you cannot achieve something because there are things outside in the environment that are happening. And in most cases, This is where the problem comes in. And that's why in one of my books, actually the first edition of this book, The Nature of Poverty in Uganda, I quote Adam Smith, who said that the real tragedy of the poor is the poverty of their aspirations. The real tragedy of the poor is the poverty of their aspirations. And that poverty is the lack of control. It means when you have to wait for government to do something for you to go forward, or you wait for your mother to do something for you to go forward. You have to wait for your wife, you have to wait for your spouse to do something or to do some things for you to become who you want to be. Or you have to think that maybe now, in most cases, education. Now, education, actually, I write about education, a good education against poverty in the fifth edition, which talks about a good education against poverty. That poverty, education has taught us to be poor because we have prolonged education. And actually, Peter Drucker, in his book of The Age of Discontinuity, talks about the problem of education. Most of us have spent a lot of time in school and we have not learned to act. And because now the experience we get from prolonged schooling is to learn not to act. It means education has even taken away our ability to be proactive, our ability to be creative and innovative. Why? Because we have spent most of the time listening on the receiving end. We receive from teachers and we don't influence in the classroom. We don't influence in the school. And this has taken away our ability to create experience. So, indecision comes from very many factors. And that takes us to the next point. Knowledge acquisition. You cannot make a decision unless you have knowledge of what you're going to create or to do or to achieve. As I quote Warren Buffett, who said, the risk comes from doing what you don't know. When you do what you don't know, you increase the risk, which is the risk of losing out on what you're doing. So most of us have choices. We have made career choices. You have made marital choices. You have made work choices. You want to work with this company. You want to work with Galaxy TV. You want to work with any other TV, or you want to work in America. You want to work in Uganda. Most of us have made those wrong choices because of the lack of knowledge. Now, there are very many people, as in my experience of activism against poverty, I have come to realize there are people who talk confidently that if you want to hide knowledge or anything from an African, hide it in the book. Now, and very many people have believed so. They have believed so simply because they are lazy to learn. As I have told you, there is need for change of mindset. Now, the change of mindset cannot happen when you don't know what you're deciding. Most of us make wrong choices because we don't have the knowledge to create those choices. Because you cannot make a choice out of the wrong choices unless you have the knowledge about all those choices, the consequences, where they are coming from. I mean, who determines your fashion? Who determines your tastes and preferences? Who determines your music, the music you consume? Who determines what you are watching on media? Now, we are in an age where we talk about we are the millennials or the .com generation. And it's a pity that a good number of people don't understand the power of technology. The time we are in an information age. That's why someone said, the age is here, but it has not yet got its name. We are in an information age, but people don't know what to be informed about. They don't know what to know. And this is the threat that is actually leading to indecision. When we cannot make decisions of either what to do or what not to do, it is only because that we have not invested our time in learning those things. And that's why actually it is said that you cannot achieve anything when you actually don't know it. So, and that's why Warren Buffett talks about that. And in most cases, we are doing wrong things. We always seek to do wrong things rightly, and this is where actually the problem of creativity, innovation is coming from. The reason why we are suffering unemployment and all these things, idleness, laziness, is because we don't have knowledge of what is right or wrong. And because people don't know what is right or wrong, that's why they engage in unproductive activities. And that is what is happening right now among the millennials, because people don't know what to know. They even don't know the nature of their problem. And that's why our aspirations become wrong. Someone tells you, I want to work in America, I want to work where, but what do you want to achieve? And what quality of man do you even want to be as you're doing those very choices? And so the lack of knowledge about those choices makes us unproductive in the end. And that's why Warren Buffett talks about there is a need to do the wrong thing right, the right thing wrongly, better than doing a wrong thing rightly. So most people are doing wrong things rightly, and very many organizations, institutions are suffering from this. Right away, you can talk of one of the greatest failures in doing wrong things rightly is government, whereby they don't understand the priorities. So this is coming from the people who are employed in government. And who are the people? The people are the citizens. So the culture of doing wrong things rightly is where we are right now today. And that is coming from the lack of decision making, lack of control over one's life. That takes us to the next point. Timing. Decision making needs timing. We need to know our times right now. Now, what are the times right now? The times right now are, we are in an information age. We are in a knowledge society. We are in a society which needs creativity, innovation, problem solving. You cannot get to solve any problem in your life when you don't know the timing. And the timing comes from knowledge. Just like the eagle when it is in the air or in the sky. It takes time in the air, and it takes a little time to just pick its target. I have seen that. It stays so distant in the air because its vision must instruct it to get the right speed. So in a timing of decision making is the speed and also the timing. What are you solving? What are you solving? Are you seeing the problem rightly? And that's actually one of my purposes of writing about poverty. Poverty is something that is holding us back. There is one author who is called Michael Gladwell who wrote about the outliers. And in his book, The Outliers, he actually talks about taking poverty unseriously. Because poverty is influencing so many of us in these things. That's why I told you in the beginning, a beggar has no choice, or poor people, a poor person does not have a choice. The reason why he does not have a choice because he has given away his birthright, his ability to actually act on his present and also on his future. The lack of having control over your life comes from the lack of actually vision. Because when you don't have the vision of your target, when you don't invest time learning about your target, you will always miss the point. And that's why many people are doing the wrong thing rightly. I mean, the wrong thing rightly instead of actually arriving on the right thing. Because it is better to do the right thing wrongly than doing the wrong thing rightly. So it is the timing. Because in most cases, we are always spending time sweating, looking for success. And success comes only in a few chances you take in life, few opportunities. Opportunity comes actually from problems. There is the Sun Tzu, the Japanese author of The Art of War. He talks about in chaos there is opportunity. For example, right now we are in an economic kind of recession or depression all over the world, globally. And in my Ugandan context, we have seen that problem. Everyone is singing about the economy and all that. People don't understand the times. Why? The time of poverty is actually the time of action. And that's why I wrote actually the second edition, which talks about the wisdom that comes with being poor. So poverty also can make you wise. And indeed, poor people have wisdom. And all rich people have learned from failure, have learned from poverty to become rich. So the problem is the times of uncertainty are always times for action. But when you don't have knowledge, in the other second point, as I discussed it, when you don't have knowledge of the times, if you don't have the nature of the times, then you will always be confused. You will have the wrong choices to select from, and you will always arrive on the wrong thing. That means your life is going to be filled with regret or blaming others. And that's why in Uganda we have the common saying people have currently in talking about government etuyambe and all that kind of thing. People have to depend on some other people's actions to achieve what they want. It is a trivial. If you cannot even concentrate on reading a book, you cannot even read a dictionary for the sake of understanding your problem, you cannot prescribe. You cannot make a roadmap out of your problem. Now, the next point talks about burning the bridges. In a decision making, as I told you, the lack of knowledge leads you to the lack of choices, the right choices. When you don't know the right choices, it means you cannot throw away the wrong choices. It means you will keep with all the choices, around 100 choices, and you don't know how to select from them. Why? That is going to lead you not to burn the bridges. Burning the bridges is to stop doing what old thing that was not helping you to become productive or to achieve your target, your goals, your dreams, and your plans. Doing the past. There is the father of modern medicine, Peter Drucker, who talks about if you want to achieve something new, you have to stop doing the old thing. So how do you stop doing the old things? It is having the knowledge of the new thing that you want. That takes vision. That takes a knowledge. That takes timing. That takes the courage to learn. There is the philosopher Aristotle who said, learning is not a child's play because it takes pain to actually learn. In this information age, in this knowledge society that we are in this knowledge, in this economy which needs creativity, innovation, and high motivation for work, it will take you understanding the wrong choices of the past to correct you into the new choices of the future and of your present. So it is important that you learn to see the wrong choices you had in the past experience, because actually that is where you get the experience to understand where you're coming from and where you're going. Otherwise, you will always do the same old mistakes to think you will achieve different things. That's why there is one person who talked about madness is doing the same old things expecting different results. And this is what always people are doing. And that kills your ability to make the right decision. And that's where the decision-making skills also fails so many people. The last point is be ready to change. Be ready to change. Today, very many people fear change, they resist change, and others actually are passive in life because they have let other people decide for them. They have let government determine. They have to determine their peace, to determine the quality of their happiness. They have let their spouses, their children, to determine how they live in life, how they eat, because we cannot make decisions. And that is where the real problem is. You will always resist change. Why? Because decision making includes action. Today's problem, you can see the number of youth who are unemployed. The problem of unemployment cannot be solved by government. Government can never create the jobs that the youth need. It can never create, it has no capacity at all. All innovation and creativity and socio-economic development comes from people. It's not a government institution. But people don't understand it, definitely because of the other point. Knowledge, the lack of knowledge. When they don't know that knowledge, they will always give in to, I'm expecting my parents to do this for me. I'm expecting my wife to do this for me. Maybe my children will help me to be successful. We have seen a lot of old people having a bad old age because they were expecting their grandchildren, they're expecting their children to give back to them, to give them a good life. It doesn't happen that way. Why? Because the resistance to change those things that are old, that are giving you the same results, is so much because you fear. Courage, as I've made my research, comes from knowledge. When you don't know what to do, you always fear. And when you fear, you become complacent. That is complacency, a kind of mentality which talks about I don't care mentality. And when that I don't care mentality comes in, you will never be a master of your fate. You will never be a master of your present. And you will never be a master of your future. And when you are not a master of your future, everything decides what you eat, what you think, and what you feel, even how you sleep. The government will determine all these things. And incompetent people, actually, because your life is only known by you. Everyone is unique in their way. But when you don't know the skill of making decision, the process of making decision, and you create it through your experiences, that is what happens. Life determines everything around you. Now, I want to give that power to you. You've got to be a person, a knowledge person. Thank you for following me on this episode, because that is one of the processes of learning. And that is one of the processes of changing your destiny, the choices that you make. You made the right choice to follow me today, and I believe you will follow me on other my media channels. You can email me, hewasam@gmail.com. You can follow me on WhatsApp, 0703 612 and 555. And also you can follow me on Twitter at Ahewasam Linda Sam, and also follow me on my next episode and several other past episodes. You can also order a copy of your book today, and there are very many books outside there, as I have mentioned. There are very many people who have done a lot of research who can help us make decisions, the right things, and they can help us to know more. God bless you. Thank you for following me.